For example, my father told me all black men will leave their wives. This man will leave you. My mother told me all black people have AIDS. Like those things are not true, first of all. Well, my father did not approve of my marriage to my husband.
And why
My
not?
father, yeah, because he's black.
Once upon a time, one black man I saw on TikTok said something that actually made a lot of sense. And he said, if Arab people understood how badly they treat black people in their countries, they shouldn't be on the internet crying for help from the black community for awareness of what's happening in Palestine. Which makes sense a lot. No, because have you seen how majority of black people get treated in Arab countries? Number one person here, I lived in the UAE, I can testify. But before we go any further, I'm gonna show you all the videos and whole of now. I'm saying this from a point of view because like if it was from an African point of view, it will be like, okay, the Middle East already sees black Africans as peasants. But it's another thing. When African Americans go to Arabic countries just as destination places to have fun and spend their money and have a good time, and then they get treated badly. But then they are the same people that be crying to the black community to help them when it comes to raising awareness about something. Ladies and gentlemen, if I am lying, go in the comment section and tell me, Esther, that's cap.
I am so happy that black people are coming to the realization that Palestinians are racist and homophobic. Donald Trump could turn Palestine into a parking lot. I don't care. I will not advocate for people who do not like me. Which is why I've never used my platform, as liberal as I am, to promote any free Palestine BS. I've been to Israel. I know that in Israel, I can stand up in Tel Aviv as a gay black man and feel comfortable, and that is something that I cannot do in Gaza. And the American Palestinians telling black people that we should be okay with Palestinians being racist against black people because they're more oppressed than us is actual hogwash.
When you live in Saudi Arabia as a black person, you really quickly realize that racism is deeply rooted. And there is a word, abda or abd, whatever, it's the same thing, but which means slave, okay? Remember that, slave. Are you ready? And that's how some of people openly refer to black people. But what hurts the most is when that word comes from your own friend, guys. And yes, I almost forgot, even my friends call me Abda. Sometimes as if it's normal, and other times during arguments, but that doesn't justify anything. Okay, for example, imagine you walk on the street and someone might give you like hateful look or use terms soda just to comment on your color skin. But back then, I didn't really see it as a racism. At first, because I was just young and just a child, I didn't really take that serious, and I just start to understand that after moving in France, I began to understand what really happened.
Some Arabs are more racist than white people, and yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how my aunt called me Shighl al-Lail when I went to Lebanon. Let's talk about how they tell me to stay out of the sun because I'm already too dark. Let's talk about how I want my best friend to come with me to Lebanon, but I'd rather spare her a terrible experience. Let's talk about how if I fell in love with a black guy and married him, how hard that would be for me, how hard it would be for him, how many hurdles we would both have to jump through, how I really wouldn't want him around my extended family because I wouldn't feel comfortable and he wouldn't feel comfortable. It's really gross. Maybe we should start taking some accountability.
It shows that they don't value you in the first place. Most black people, liberals, and Arabic people do not vote the same way. They don't share interests. They're only relying on our empathy, know that they're in a spot that makes them uncomfortable. But believe me when I say you share very little in common with the people of Palestine. And the same Palestinians that we are so sensitive about and so passionate about online would not come and advocate for us if the shoe were on the other foot. Actually, the shoe has been on the other foot. And they didn't. They were quiet. So anything that's going on in Palestine has nothing to do with me. And I might even go take a vacation when Donald Trump turns it into a resort.
One of the worst insults I've ever heard was in Saudi Arabia when they would run around calling me a lesbian because no man would ever want to date or talk to someone like me. And when I would complain, they would say, you should be lucky that we're even seeing you as a lesbian because we're calling you a girl when you're not really a girl.
But which means slave, okay? Remember.
Thank you, my sister, for speaking up. Even though it breaks my heart, but what I'm about to say right now would break my heart more. Arab people are the most racist people I come across in my life. I was called Abd or Abid multiple times, which translates to a servant or a slave. Racism in 2025 in this century should not be overlooked. I'm a Muslim and I was discriminated against inside of a mosque. By who? By some Arab persons. I talked about it online. A lot of people were standing with me, but I got attacked by two different set of people. The first set were my fellow black Africans who were non-Muslims, who were asking, what am I doing in another person's religion? And two, the Arab people who were busy defending their own fellow Arabs. I am not saying every Arab person is racist. What I'm saying is all my encounter with racism is through an Arab person. And let me tell you one of my last experience apart from the mosque scenario. I was in the queue inside of a supermarket checking out my item. So the first person on the queue was a man, and then followed by this old Arab woman, and I was the third person. I can't remember the first person, but he forgot his banana. So the supermarket staff thought the banana belongs to the old Arab woman. So she collected the banana from the supermarket staff and put it on my toilet paper. Keep in mind, I was only buying toilet papers in the supermarket. She looked at the staff and looked back and said, I need the banana the most. I was laughing. I thought she was joking. I was saying, I don't need the bananas. Please, I don't need them. She insisted that I needed the banana the most. She put it on my item. I actually thought she was paying for the bananas like she was offering. And I did not even pick offense in what she did. I walked out laughing. I refused to take the bananas. So I was telling this my friend of this weird experience, right? And he immediately interpreted it like they call Africans monkeys and monkeys like bananas. So that might be the reason why she thought I needed the banana the most. The main point of my video is to talk about racism and possibly end it. I've met a lot of nice Arab people, but I'm sorry, most of my encounters were through Arabs and especially the older ones. Let's spread the love, not the hate.
Why is it that a black person can't vocalize the racism or anti-blackness they've experienced at the hands of Arabs or Arab Americans without the onus being put back on the black person to fix it? There's always a Heba out there screaming, it's not the oppression of the Olympics, stop putting Western standards on non-Western people. This is basically exactly what happened with Maya and Tory. Someone told Tory, get that Palestinian flag out of your bio if you intend on voting for Kamala Harris. And Tory said, bet. Flag gone. What did Maya do? Did she take the time to talk to her own community about how the rhetoric that was launched at Tory did nothing but harm the Palestinian movement? No. She got on the internet and said, well, if that was enough to take the flag out of her bio, she never really supported Palestine anyways. Okay. You expect black people to accept disrespect. Look inward, all right? Deal with the poison within before you request solidarity from anyone. When that poison seeps out inevitably and we get a whiff of that nasty shit, don't expect us to put gas masks on and stick around for the party.
When I'm speaking on the racial discrimination and insidious anti-blackness in Lebanon, that how black Africans are being treated like slaves and shit in Lebanon, I'm speaking to also other Middle Eastern countries and how they treat black Africans that go there to help them and serve their economy. Because we're not just there to leech, we're there to work. We are working as laborers, we're working in your homes as maids, some of us are working in your banks, some of us are working. And regardless of that, because of your superiority complex, you believe you're better than us. But I want to say something. It's not just Lebanon. It is in the Middle East. It's not just Lebanon, it's across the Middle East. This is a research that was done by the Arab Barometer, Racial Discrimination and Anti-Blackness in the Middle East and North Africa. So there's a reason why I am making this video, because it is insidious. It is so much ingrained into your system. But the funny thing is this, a lot of Middle Eastern countries and North African countries are so racist to black Africans, to blacks, especially black Africans. But the funny thing is these countries, especially in the Middle East, you guys come to Africa regardless. You come to black Africa regardless. You come to sub-Saharan African countries regardless to do business. You come there to live. But the funny thing is we, the black Africans, always treat you so well. Isn't it funny? We treat you so well in our countries and you treat us like shit in your countries. Isn't that funny? But there's a reason why I am making this video. I want to show the black African, home and abroad, that this is the data. This is what people think of you, especially from the Middle East and North Africa. There is an insidious anti-blackness against the black African. You are a nuisance to them. They might use you, you might contribute to their economy, you might work, but you are still a slave in their eyes. But then I have another question. But then I have another question. There's a large Lebanese community in West Africa. In Nigeria alone, I believe there's over 500,000 Lebanese in Nigeria. There's millions of Lebanese in West Africa. So my question to us, Black Africans from these countries that are in Africa, why are we treating the Lebanese nicely in Nigeria? Why are we treating the Middle Eastern man and woman so nicely in Nigeria, so nicely in West Africa, when they treat us like their countries? Why? I want you to answer that question. And this is not just Middle East. Anti-blackness and discrimination against the Black African is a global thing. And I'm going to be making videos on every single continent on this world so that you, a Black African man, a Black African woman, a Black African, can see for yourself and see that we are not liked anywhere. We are just barely tolerated. So the reason I'm making all these videos is so that the Black African will see the importance of why we need to unite. Why we have to work together. Because I think sometimes when people talk about African unity, we have to unite, people think it's just a fancy word. We have no choice because we have no friends. To the Arab man, we are still nothing but a slave. To the white man, we are beneath his feet. To the Asian man, we are subhuman. I'm speaking in general and the perception of who we are.
Who do you see on the internet raising voices each and every single day for Gaza? It's Black people. And hence I keep on remembering that video of a Black lady who said that Black people are too quick to forgive. Because even if Arabic people need Black people's help when it comes to raising awareness about their problems, on a daily, they will treat Black people badly.